to that camera. And stand by.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Decibel and Capital Coffee Talk. My name's Leslie Rohde, filling in for Judy Maggio, and today we're going to continue our conversation about workforce development in our area, and specifically moms getting back to the workforce.
They need to be held accountable.
Welcome again, everyone. Moms getting back into the workforce. You know, Hara Cootes is with us today from UT's Child Development Center. She's the program director there, and University of Texas has a lot of children at your center and a lot of moms going back to the workforce.
Yes.
Welcome. Glad you're here, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
And tell us a little bit about the center, what it's all about, what the mission is.
So the University of Texas has 3 schools on campus to support and promote the work that people do on campus, whether it's going to class, teaching a class, or working in an office or a lab. So being a workplace childcare program allows people to be successful at work and close by to their children.
You started back in 1991 with one campus, correct?
Yes.
And now you've grown. How many children do you have involved now?
So we started with 86 children in 1991, and we now have 480 children.
That shows the need.
Yes, absolutely. And a waiting list of families who'd love to join us and will eventually.
Now you touched on who the clients are, but tell us again, who can take advantage of this type of child care?
So the 2 campus programs, the university faculty, staff, and students are able to access us. And then our Lavaca location, we split the spaces between the university campus and state agency employees.
Okay, challenges now, I know as a mom who has, I know you have kids as well.
Yes.
When you take time off with the kiddos, no matter if it's 6 weeks or 6 years, it can be challenging going back to the workforce again. There's a lot of give and take that,
Yes.
that you have to
there
settle
is.
with and accept in a lot of ways. When a mom, when parents first come to you with a child, what are some of the first things that you see them struggle with, and how maybe do you help them through that?
I think that parents sometimes don't plan ahead enough for childcare. Sometimes a parent will walk in with a child and get on the waiting list when they could have gotten it on when they got pregnant. So starting early and then putting a plan into place. Children who first join childcare often get sick at first. They haven't been exposed to germs or build immunity. So having backup care, whether it's family or some kind of a support system, if they're launching back into the workplace, and it's difficult to take off at first.
Oh, it can be. Or even if it isn't, you feel guilty for taking off
You
because
do.
you've been off for a while.
And you might not want to share that responsibility with a partner or a grandparent or someone else. You want to be there, and it's a pull, I think.
Yeah, and don't forget, moms and dads get those illnesses too, right?
Yes, they
do. And they have to be, sometimes call in sick when they are just starting back to
Right. And
to
then
the
each
job.
child gets the illness, so then it folds on.
It can be challenging. You have some educational opportunities there at the center as well that I know can be helpful as parents as they try to balance getting back to work and raising a child, leaving a child at home.
It's true. We do have a parent education program, so we do quarterly parent topics. We just did one last week and had a total of about 100 people attend over 6 different times. So we help parents parent so that they can put their children to bed on time, so they can have harmony during the drive home or going grocery shopping. Those kinds of things can make it easier to get up in the morning if you were able to get a full night's sleep and your child wasn't in bed with you. Those kind of parenting things we help parents navigate so that they can be rested and more successful and feel better about being a parent and balancing it with other responsibilities.
What do you tell people? I love that harmony, though. That's just, I don't know what harmony. If there's a pill for that, let us know. That's great. I think the guilt that moms feel when they get back to work, and a lot of times, just leaving the child at home can be difficult. How do you get over that? How do you help women get through that?
I think for one is they have to feel really good about the care that they have. I often get calls from people in the community that are having really negative experiences with their child care, and they feel guilty about leaving them. They don't feel like it's safe, or they aren't confident about it. So having a really good care arrangement, whether it's elementary school, after school, preschool, infant care, is really critical, so that you can go to work feeling good about it.
You can tell by your numbers of 480 children that this is a need and been successful here at the University of Texas, but there are not many employers who have child-sponsored care or child care on their campuses or at their work for many reasons. I mean, it does cost a lot of money. I know that.
It does. The research shows, though, there are benefits to the workforce. It gets people back to work sooner. It's a great tool for hiring. The university uses child care as a hiring tool for faculty.
I think so.
So there are benefits that just might outweigh those costs.
So maybe looking for something, when you're looking for a job to get back into the workforce, maybe looking for some place that has some child-sponsored care, because that way you know your child too is maybe right down the hall or nearby.
And you feel a lot better about it when you can participate in a field trip, when you can nurse during the day. Being accessible kind of means being close by as well as affordable.
Yeah. Moms sometimes, I think, don't value the skills that they can bring to the job, no matter how long they've been off. And it's not just moms all the time, it's sometimes fathers. You take that time off and you try to get back into the workforce. You're interviewing for a job, and maybe you just don't. You're not proud of the time that you took off, for maybe a reason or not. But
Sure.
how do you coach people in valuing their soft skills?
I have helped parents and some students come to me because they're graduating and they're wanting to get in the workforce, and they did take some time off to parent. I talk to them about what they want to know. What do I say when I'm asked, what was I doing for the last 3 years? Let them know that you spent time at home to parent with your family, and now you are ready to manage people. You've learned about tolerance. You understand what it means to listen, and you're ready to apply that in their office. Rather than what I often see is, well, I took off for a few years, and it kind of is like you're giving them an excuse of what you did, rather than being proud of it. That confidence shows through if you can do the other.
Yeah, I think so as well. And we should mention, if anyone listening, and you're sharing this with your friends on Facebook now, and you hear of anything, I know you have some stories of going back to work, perhaps. Do you have any questions? Do you have any thoughts of how you handled going back to work when you did have a child at home? We'd like to hear from you, and maybe share some of those things with us, because there are organizations out there I know that really work with. There are some nonprofits and some other programs that help parents get back to work after and in particular moms who tend to be the ones who stay home to do the child care. So we'd love to hear from you. So please give us a comment there and let us know how you've been dealing, if you have had to deal with getting back to work. The importance of a support system when getting back in the workforce, not only looking for the job, which is a whole other thing, but getting back into the workforce.
I think a parent that stays at home, when they launch into a job outside of the home, often the couple, the parents, whoever the partners are, haven't really talked through the shift of responsibilities in the home, the shift in responsibilities of caretaking. If the child gets sick, is it assumed the parent who is staying at home will take over that responsibility? So having a support system and talking about the new roles that are going to be important will absolutely contribute to success going back outside of the home to work.
And what about students here? We did mention staff,
Right.
of course, but you have a lot of students that are going back to school maybe even, and they're balancing work, class, and children.
Often, you're right, often we have students that are going to school and working and parenting. And many classes are offered at night, and there's not a lot of backup support offered for people who have classes at night. So again, setting up a system of support, whether I often see parents setting up a support system with each other. You babysit my children, I've got class this night, and then I'll babysit yours the next day. So making your own family, if there isn't one around, is really important and will really be enriching in your life.
And that old village concept continues to come into play. Any thought on trends that you see? You've been in this at the Child Development Center for, you said, 20
26 years,
26 years, and I know you've seen the growth, but what types of trends do you see in maybe types of jobs women are taking again? I read a lot about women looking for more flexibility in their careers because maybe they can't go back, if they want to spend more time with their children, they can't go back to a 50 or 60 hour a week job, but they go back to work in an area that may have a little bit more flexibility.
Well, I think that employers are becoming more family friendly in their policies, such as having flexible work schedules to allow parents to have a life and have a work life as well. So I think finding companies that allow flexibility within whatever the job is, they have good time off policies, work from home, shift flexibility, that those are going to be the companies that any parent would like to work for.
Any parent, you're right. And knowing too that if you do go back in a different type of job, maybe you need to accept that there might be a sacrifice or two when you head back.
Yeah, you won't be able to go to every field trip or volunteer for every party.
Darn, you can't volunteer for every party.
You cannot. There's some sacrifices of your time.
Okay,
Sure.
now you have to help me read this because I didn't get my reading glasses over here.
I don't have mine either.
Okay. Blair.
Oh, I know
Which
some
one?
of those people.
Which one? Hold on. I knew I should have gotten my reading glasses out.
One of our viewers asked, how important is it that parents share the responsibility of caring?
Oh, this is good. How important is it that parents share or partners share the responsibility of raising a child? We mentioned the support system before, and having that discussion before you go back to work on what the responsibilities will be.
It really is important. But what I often find there are some mothers in particular who don't want to give up the sharing of those responsibilities. They still want to be the primary person. So being intentional and allowing your partner in to partner and share those responsibilities are just as important as having a partner who's interested and willing to do so.
That can be really hard.
It is. I've seen a lot of mothers struggle with that.
What advice do you give moms who are ready to go back to work, but they don't know where to start?
I would start by getting your support system in place. I will never forget the time the person who was supposed to pick up my children got mixed up on the days, and I called the neighbor and said, my 2 children are on the corner, can you go get them? They would not have made it, and she showed up with milk and cookies. You need people like that in your life to make those things happen. And when you're at home, if you're staying at home with a child, starting to establish that network of people and that support system that will be there for you later. There's never enough time to start that.
And there's never.
You start it as early as possible.
Before you have children. That's so true.
Yes.
And I think, and also, I mean, that has to do with your support system for your family, but while you are not working, keeping the networking going with people who are in your field, your career field, is very important. And by that, I mean not just emailing them or getting on social media with them, but actually finding some moments to get out and have coffee with someone or continue that network.
Putting yourself out there.
Right.
There's a childcare center in Austin that does drop-in care. It's called Kids Spa or something.
Okay.
So if you wanted to go out and have coffee with a friend, you have options. You don't have to lug your children with you. You can go out and be a professional and meet with someone that you used to be connected with. Getting yourself on LinkedIn, seeing who you know, you'd be amazed at how many people are connecting on social platforms and business platforms.
And that has really helped us.
It makes a difference.
I think. I mean, just the social networking itself has really helped us as moms, but getting out there as well and just letting people know that you are still very viable in your career and that when you're ready to go back to work, you're going to be up on the skills that are ready to take you back into the workforce.
Absolutely.
What's next for the Child Development Center? Any more growth? I know you have a campus over near the Capitol. What else?
We are always looking at expansion.
Okay.
Always looking for that opportunity. But we are full. We are doing celebrations. We are celebrating diversity. We've got a huge summer curriculum with outdoor fun, and we're really embracing a natural learning environment. So we've started working with the Wildflower Center and other groups to bring nature to the children outside.
Oh, that's great. Sounds like a fun place to be. Hara Cootes, we appreciate you coming in today from University of Texas Child Development Center and all they're doing for the children and the staff and state workers here. And we appreciate all of you watching Capital Coffee Talk today. Hope you'll share this with your friends and continue the conversation on how we can create a better workforce environment for our moms and dads going back to work after they have kids. Bye.